It is often that we have prayed, Father, send signs and wonders and miracles to confirm your word. But who are the signs for? Us or someone else? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, Day 5, the final day of Qorach. We are now in Numbers, or Bamidbar, chapter number 17. Let's start with verse 1. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and take from them a rod from each father's house, all their leaders according to their father's houses, 12 rods. Write each one's name on his rod. And write Aaron's name on the rod of Levi, for there is one rod for the head of each father's house. You shall place them in the tent of appointment before the witness where I meet with you. And it shall be that the rod of the man whom I choose buds, and I shall rid myself of the grumblings of the children of Israel, which they grumble against you. Now Moshe did what was required of him, asked of him. 12 rods were placed before the witness, and overnight when they came back, it was the rod of Aaron that not only had budded, but it had blossomed, and it had ripe almonds on it. So Yah overperformed the sign from what he initially stated. The test was to authenticate once and for all Aaron as the chosen high priest, and to put to death or put a final nail in the coffin of this squabbling and arguing about who did Yah actually choose. Now, the word rod here in Hebrew is mateh, M-A-T-T-E-H, we might transliterate. It is spelled with a mem, a letter in Hebrew, which indicates, among many things, chaos or water. Might is another one. Massive is another one. The letter tet, which looks like almost like a serpent that is coiled up. And it means basically to surround. And then we have hey, man with his hands in the air saying, look over here, there's something to see, to be revealed. If we would put the letter meanings together, we have an interesting look at this word that would suggest the idea of might surrounding a revelation. Okay, that's not the exact definition of the word. It is an interesting look, not a doctrine here. It's an interesting look at the letters and their symbolic meanings. So if we are thinking about the rod connected to the idea of power or authority or might surrounding a revelation, how would that fit? A tribe is indicated by the tribal leader's rod of authority. He is the one that's in charge of the tribe, the first man up. Under his tribal rod of authority, the might of his authority, the tribe then operates and functions and understands what its instructions might be, how they are to proceed and to act. They pitch their tent then in connection to this tribal leader. And each of the tribes are assigned the duty in their proximity to the Mishkan to guard, to protect. All of Israel is called to guard and to protect the Torah, its sanctity, its set apartness, its legitimacy, and it is to do so in a defense stance. We stand guard about it. Each tribe has a different angle as they look, as they see the Mishkan. It might allude then to the idea that we all don't have a single narrow vision about the revelation of the Mishkan, which is Messiah. All of us have a little different understanding of Messiah, that when you combine the whole, we have a much more complete picture. The way you understand him, the way I understand him, the way we have related to him, the personal relationship we have with him is not identical. I didn't come from your background. You didn't come from mine. We have a different perspective. But when we share together the testimony that we have of Messiah, we have a fuller picture. So all of the tribes bring together the revelation of Messiah Yeshua, and we see him more clearly in the middle of all of our witness. So then we have a sense of might that is gained, a sense of strength that is gained by surrounding his revelation, and we protect that. We don't want the world to dilute him or misidentify him. We want to be genuine in our understanding of who Messiah is and the revelation not only of him, but the revelations that he has entrusted to us, the insights that we have gained from studying his word. So further, a step further on this is that Yah has, as I indicated yesterday, never asked for our popular vote. He didn't ask us who we wanted for a leader. He simply chose a leader for us. He will give a sign, perhaps, but when we ask for signs and miracles and testimonies even of angels to affirm his choices to us, he may not be interested in responding to that. He may indeed offer a sign, but who is it for? What kind of sign do we need to know that Yeshua is the Messiah? I still hear reports of people who have known him to turn from him. It's heart-wrenching. It's heartbreaking. What does Yeshua have to do more than has already been done? What else does the Word have to reveal to us that we know who he is? So who, again, are these signs for? In the book of Matthew, chapter number 11, Yeshua is speaking of Yochanan the Immerser, John the Baptist. And he asked the question as these were going. Yeshua began to say to the crowds concerning Yochanan, "What did you go out in the wilderness to see?" And he asked a rhetorical question. "A reed shaken by the wind? A man in soft garments?" That phrase, a reed shaken in the wind, what does that actually mean? Well, Hebrew is full of wordplay. It's a very common practice. Kana nadef maruach is a reed shaken in the wind. Kana nadef maruach is also a wordplay, a zealot shaken in the spirit. The difference being the word kana is initially here a kaf, a nun, a hey, or a kaf, a nun, and an aleph. And you have very, very similar audible sounds here. The words sound almost identical. So which way is it? It's a wordplay. And he is suggesting perhaps to us that Yochanan was a zealot of the Spirit, being shaken in the Spirit. That many people rejected that sign, especially among the religious leadership. In the book of Luke, chapter number 11, verse number 29 reads this way, "And while the crowds were thronging, he began to say, 'This generation is wicked. It seeks a sign, and no sign shall be given to it except the sign of Jonah the prophet,'" that is 3 days and 3 nights in the midst of the earth, Yeshua being buried there. He then says that those who are looking for a sign, that they are wicked. That it is those who reject Messiah that are the ones that are looking for a sign of Messiah. Again, in 1 Corinthians chapter number 1, it says in verse 20, "Where is the wise? Where is the scholar? Where is the debater of this age? Has not Elohim made foolish the wisdom of the world? Since in the wisdom of Elohim, the world through wisdom did not know Elohim, it pleased Elohim through the foolishness of preaching to save those who believe. And since Yehudim, or the Jews, ask a sign and Greeks seek wisdom, yet we proclaim Messiah impaled to the Yehudim, or Jews, a stumbling block, and to the Greeks foolishness. Neither the Jews nor the Gentiles were willing to accept the sign of Messiah Yeshua." He died, didn't he? No, but he rose again. And there's you a sign you can believe in. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. May the King sit with you at your table. May he dine with you. May he reside and give you rest as you study his word and fellowship among his body. Until we see you again next week, Shabbat Shalom.